5 to 10 years, hair, or even now, hair is always considered as a part of the beauty. It was never considered as a part of the health concern. Even the hair is falling or anything to do with the hair, it was always like for aesthetic purposes. So now today, we always we run a lot of seminar series over here. And one of the main, most important part of our seminar series is I try to educate my audience by giving like a semi-technical information in a more like in a storytelling manner. So then you can understand science in a layman language. Okay. What happened like when you read a lot of articles, when you surf Google and you try to find a lot of information by yourself, usually what happened like you get too much information and which ultimately confuse you. So here we will try to simplify everything, and we see like you learn something new, which you are hearing first time today. There's a lot of like simplification of the concept called nutrition. So I just wanted to ask, we will keep the session a little bit interactive because if I know if you have any health concern or if you have anything, a concern related to your hair, because today topic is the hair. So, and the health. So please keep typing so Veena can see the questions, and I can pause and I can answer the questions simultaneously. Keep the session more interactive, right? But then during this whole seminar session, I will try to give you like a 4 or 5 major takeaway messages. So now let's understand in this way. We all have heard about nutrition. Okay, so it is all about nutrition. But then for us, we are a scientific community. So for scientists, nutrition is what we say like if we compare like that this mobile phone, say for example, initially we have 2G, 3G, now 4G, and now 5G, like that. So I think that is a very good example to understand nutrition. So when we say the nutrition theory, nutritionist, or nutrition, or anything related to healthy eating, or whatever like you are hearing all over, we scientific community put that as a 2G. It's a old information, is a dinosaur age information. In a new science, science has progressed so fast. We know much more in science today as compared to 10 years back. So the interesting point in science, we are learning every day. The progress of the science is in its best time period today. The science is already got its momentum, because you see always what happened, it takes a time to get a momentum of certain things. So what happened, like the whole scientific theory and learning about the human body, if I put in a modern science perspective, it all started somewhere around 1951-52 with the discovery of DNA. Okay. So if we put like 2020, it's only 70 years old. So all the new science is just 70 years old. Okay. But it took 70 years or 60 years to take the momentum. After 60, 70 years, we can say, okay, now science has picked up the momentum. How I can explain this? 10 years back, 20 years back, if someone has a cancer, it's kind of things like, okay, the disease cannot be cured. But today, if someone has a cancer, we still can say like, okay, it cannot be cured, but it can be manageable. We can extend the life. We can like really stop the cancer where it is. So many things happen. There's a lot of drugs coming up. The whole medical science is changing. And then, not to be very surprised that the pills may disappear in 2-3 years time period. Like today, you have this medicine kind of things. You take so many pills and other stuff kind of thing. it will disappear completely in coming future. That's the way the medical science is moving to. The pills will take a shape of like what called transdermal uh, solution. What is a transdermal solution? You already see in the market, there's a lot of patches. So instead of taking a pill, you put the patch on your skin, and it's automatically, you don't have to remember that you have to take a pill 9 a.m. in the morning and afternoon or evening. It automatically will give you inside your body. Okay, it's a time release kind of thing. So there's a lot of technologies coming up. So why I'm saying about these technologies, because technology is never discussed. The development of the technologies are never discussed in a common platform. It is only inside the researcher and the scientific community. So the question comes like, how the community, how the laymen, how the people like a normal people like you can take the advantage of the development of the science. Okay. So this particular kind of seminar series is a part of those kind of effort where we try to complement some upcoming information which you can use in your daily life, though it is not very common. Okay, so here is the theory of the nutrition. If you say the nutritional theory, what we heard, what first thing come in mind? Nutritionist, right? Dietitians, okay? Diet chart, balanced diet, okay? Low carb, high protein, all this kind of things. Am I correct? Yeah, you can give your thumbs up to, like, it can be like a kind of like interaction kind of things. So these are the vocabularies right now. Okay, so like you have to go like you're going to gym and say like a high protein diet, low carb, high protein. There's a keto diet, I'm removing carb from my diet. So the word diet is a common currency. Dietitian is the practitioner who is telling you what to do. Nutritionist is again a practitioner or the person who has a knowledge of this particular field, like they are telling you all this kind of things. But then come to my field, a scientist. Okay, what is the difference so you can understand? When people do a graduation, after the school, you go to the university and you do the graduation. So by doing graduation, you can become a nutritionist and you can become like a dietitian. It's a very simple course. And then you go out in the market and you started practicing whatever you have learned. But our life is a bit different. We have to study, keep further, keep studying in a longer term. So we have to do like after graduation, like BSc, like that, the master degree, then we have to do MPhil, then we have to do PhD, and then we have to do postdoc. Means 35 years of our life, we keep studying, while all other people are well settled at the age of 35. So that's what the scientist is a very sacrificing profession. You have to sacrifice your life. You have to be very passionate about it. So from the scientific perspective, what happened? Today we say we are going to learn about biochemistry, not about nutrition. Okay, this is the first thing you have to keep in your mind. There's a big difference between the nutrition and the biochemistry. Now, what is the difference in the nutrition? Whenever you talk about the nutrition, you keep hearing a similar set of information. That balanced diet, what I'm repeating again, balanced diet, low carb, high fat, like all about this, this much minerals, vitamins, and all. So that's what you keep talking in your daily life. Like, okay, which minerals I am missing, which vitamins I am missing, like what kind of like carbohydrate we should eat. Shall we eat like a saturated fat, not saturated fat, all those kind of things. Biochemistry is not that. What is biochemistry? So I always ask my audience one simple question, and it's a repetitive question, but very interesting question. You have two eyes. Everyone in this panel have two eyes. I also have two eyes. Have you ever heard about like why, or have you ever thought why we have two eyes? Right? So what I mean to say, we are saying that we all look similar, right? We look similar. Think about this. I'm going to give you a very interesting point which can explain you many things. We all look similar, right? We know that mango is growing in a mango tree and orange is growing in an orange tree. You never heard about mango is growing in an orange tree or orange is growing in the mango tree, correct? So this is the thought process you have to understand. I'm giving it a very interesting thing because this is taken by guarantee. Like, okay, we know, like, okay, we have two eyes, you have two eyes, so we don't ask the question. So what I mean to say, whatever you see around you, you have taken it granted and you are not asking any question about it. But the truth is lying under the question what you witness every day. Okay, so now this is, first you have to understand the human body. Okay, human body or anything on this planet which has a life, whether it is a plant life or animal life, it's very stable. Why? Because it comes from, so take the human example, it comes from one sperm and one egg. Okay, now think about the sperm right now in your mind. Can you see the lungs, liver, brain, eyes inside the sperm? No, you cannot. You take the egg. Can you see all these things inside the egg? No. But when they fertilize and grow during the pregnancies, like take the human example, for 9 months, automatically over the time period, the features started developing. Have you ever asked the questions? The answer is you never ask the question. But if you ask the question, you are going to ask the question, why this happened and why it is happening in this way. The answer is very simple. And that's what I'm saying. I'm taking you back to 1951-52 when this DNA was discovered. So now we know that we are coded. Our whole body is coded. This coding is very robust. So the human species are coded. We have two eyes, we have two lungs, the heart is going to be like that, and all those kind of, everything is coded. So one is the body structure is coded. Second is what? Our whole body is made up so many cells. So as a normal human being, we don't talk about the cells. We talk about our body. Oh, I have like a chest pain, or I have a back pain, I have a knee pain, okay, I have an eye pain, I have a headache. But it's ultimately coming from the cells which making your brain, or the cells which making your liver, or the cells. So you have to go down into further minor level or micro level in order to understand this. So what is happening over here in this particular place? So many, or you can say our body is made of billions of cells. So we have a body structure, but this body structure made with billions of cells. Now this billions of cells need to perform every day in a very similar fashion. That's it. That's what you need to understand. So for a moment, instead of thinking like, okay, my body, I have a headache, don't think about the headache, or don't think about the back pain or knee pain or hair or anything. Think about like the cell. If you have a problem, you think in one way that the cells in your body is not functioning in a synergy. So for a moment, if you have that thought, suddenly you are addressing the problem. How you are addressing the problem means every cell, all the billions of cells in the body has to work exactly with the similar fashion. So in order to make these cells work, at any given time, when you are listening to me right now, or I'm giving this speech, there are more than 6,000 to 7,000 chemical reactions going on inside the body. Okay, this is the difference. Okay, so right now there are, say, 7,000 chemical reactions going inside your body, The 7,000 chemical reaction cannot be balanced and work properly by saying simply, oh, eat less carb and more protein, or take more good fat, or avoid this or avoid that. That is why people are falling sick. The question you need to ask, why people are falling sick, even though there are many people who have a good eating habit. The answer is the good eating habit is based on the nutritional theory. Nutritional theory is not the biochemistry of the body. Now, what is the difference between this nutritional theory and biochemistry? So as I explained, biochemistry describe how all these 7,000 chemical reactions are managing inside the body. So in nutritional theory, what happened? It is divided like protein, carbohydrate, fat, minerals, vitamin, like that. But think about the new theory. Forget about all these names. Forget about carbs, forget about like protein, forget about everything. If you remember in this way, that in order to operate your body every day, you need 200 plus chemicals. These chemicals collectively known as nutrient, or we call it bioactive chemicals. So it's a number game. Okay, so it's a number game. So in order to run our body, we need 200 plus chemicals or nutrient every day. Every day. But if we go to the nutritional theory, even if you have the best of the food you are eating, you hardly get 40 to 50 nutrients every day. So this is the thing going wrong. Despite of you having a good eating habit, you are missing more than 150 nutrient every day from your diet. Okay. Now see how dangerous it is. You are, even after having the best practice, you are having only 25% of the nutrient going inside your body. And you are missing 75% of the nutrient which should go in your body in order to run each and every organ of your body. Your right now, when we are sitting, our kidney is working, our heart is working, our pancreas is working. So I want you to become your own X-ray. This is the whole a psychological game, that when we think the outer world. For a moment with me right now, stay with me over here, and for this time being, try to go inside your body. When you go inside your body, you have to think like right now your kidneys are working. Okay. So when kidneys are working, they need a certain types of chemical and nutrient for their optimal function. Now the liver is also working. Liver needs some different type of nutrient and kind like things. Your lungs is working. They need something different. Your brain is working. They need something different. Your eyes are working. They need something different. So what is the logic is that in science today we have learned every organ of the body needs some specific nutrient. And over a time period, if we don't provide that kind of nutrient in our diet, that particular organ will start slowing down. Okay. So it doesn't work like as an age, like I'm a 40 years or I'm a 50 years or I'm 60 years. No, the whole aging concept is very much divided. Okay. So aging appear very fast when your brain is aging faster. Okay. So how many people, so like this, so if the brain is aging faster, it means like, what are the indication? The first indication, you will have the mental fog. What is mental fog? You have a short-term memory loss. Very quickly, you can't remember, and then after some time you remember it, right? Very clear indication that many people have this mental fog. But when people go 55, 60 plus, they started getting a little bit longer lapse of the memory. So all of us, we have a memory lapse in our daily life, but we don't recognize it. but that's an indication that aging brain, okay, we are putting too much pressure to our brain. So brain can give you some impression, but the way liver is working, the way pancreas is working, I want to remind you few names. Spleen. The spleen is on the left hand side of the body here, it's working. Kidney working, but we cannot recognize when they are working optimal, when they are working medium, or when they're working under load, right? So this body outer way, in a daily basis, we have no formula that we can identify that our organ has a load, it is under stress. So we always talk about stress, our brain has a stress. No, I want today to add you one more point, that your organ comes under stress first. When your organ come under stress, maybe your liver is working under stress for last 5 years, you don't know. Because your liver is working under stress for last 5 years, it started affecting the whole body function, that it started affecting your digestive system for quite some time. And then after your digestive system, it started affecting your other system. So it's all connected like that. So when we do the new diagnosis, the new age diagnosis, if you have a headache, it's not necessary you have a problem in your brain. It may be started from your liver. Okay, so the whole old theory of location is changing now. Okay, because the whole body is connected. So if you have some problem in your neck, not necessarily is coming from the neck, it may be coming somewhere down from your knee, but it's reflecting on your neck. Why? Because it's the brain is taking all the messages around the body, and the reflection of the pain has an end point, not necessarily where it is originated. Okay, so this is the thing. One of the example I would like to give you to make you understand. 10-15 years back, we heard cancer, some of our friends or family or someone very distant. But the same disease today, all of you have a direct relationship with someone you know have a cancer. Okay, so it really gone up very high. Why? Because the food habit in last 20 years went very, very wrong. Why the food habit went very wrong? Because we started eating out a lot. We started eating fancy food. So there was a food culture. With the development of the economy, one of the quality of life is what? Fancy eating. I use this word called fancy eating. Going in a good restaurant doesn't mean you are having a good food. It's your lifestyle experience. But what happened over this course of last 20 years, we gone depleted of this nutrition. So as I mentioned, we have this 200 nutrient we need every day. And even with the best practice, we get 25-30 nutrients per day, or maximum 40. We were already depleted almost 140-50 nutrient per day. Okay, so let's say the 75% missing. But now with the bad habit, our body is sustaining with 10% nutrient. So what will happen? Two things. Number one, as soon as we have a depletion in the nutrition, our organs are getting in the load, which we are unaware of. Okay, so when our organ is under load, the system is not working properly, and after certain time, that system get affected. So say for example, if the liver is not working, and after some time the digestive system is not working properly, that affect the metabolism. Metabolic effect further the immune system. So here comes hair. If any one of you have a hair fall, except genetic, okay, there's a genetical hair fall, you immediately consider there's something wrong in some of the organ in the body. that if the hair is falling, and if it is significant falling, it is not simply falling due to the chemicals or this and that. It can be an indication of some kind of like a serious health impact in one of the organs. What is that? We don't know. Okay. So in today's talk, I will not go into detail of how the hair and all those kind of things are correlated. Today, I will go and help you and share some of the knowledge towards like some of the nutrient which you need to eat every day, irrespective of the balanced diet theory. Okay. So just repeating again, and I want a confirmation from you. This is because this is the important point. I want to make sure you understand this. Balanced diet or dietitian or nutritionist theory is like balanced diet is a food pyramid, right? So you have to have this much carbohydrate, this much fat, this much protein, minerals, vitamin. Now I'm giving you the new theory. I'm saying like, forget about that. You make sure what to eat, what not to eat, and what you need to eat. There are more than 200 nutrients every day. And each of this nutrient has certain kind of function, role to play in your body. So my first question to you, how many of you have heard adaptogens? Please raise the hand so I can see. Adaptogens. If you don't, if you have not heard about it, please raise the hand as well, so at least I understand and I can explain to you. So I really want, like, don't be neutral, just yes or no. So how many never heard adaptogens? All right. So now I solve your 50% problem with this one word. Okay. If you are having any kind of stress, anxiety, depression, sleep disorder, fearful nature, restlessness, is because you're not having enough adaptogen in your food. So you just remember what is adaptogen. Adaptogen is the brain food. It is a food which is required by the brain. It's a mandatory must eat food for the brain. Okay. So from today onward, if your diet includes certain adaptogens in your food, you can see a very quick change in your brain health. This is one of the examples. Okay. The second word, which I believe most of you must have heard about it, antioxidant. You heard about antioxidant? Yes. But what is the actual role of antioxidant? Say, for example, I want to give you a question over here, that what is the key nutrient to protect the lung or to save your lung, because the corona is going on right now. During the corona pandemic, if you protect your lung, if the lung is working properly protected and the immune is very high, not of the body, of the lung, then you are safe. Can you tell me, anyone knows like any nutrient which is specifically required for the lung?
So you can type it in your chat.
Yeah, Sangeeta has unmuted. Sangeeta, want to say something?
I think it's vitamin C.
Vitamin C is a very common one. I want to come like more specific, because today what I'm trying to teach here, every organ of the body has a one master nutrient which required. And if you take this master nutrient, you're that organ for guaranteed protected. Okay, so let's put in this way. So what is the master nutrient for the lung? Anyone know about it?
Somebody is typing out zinc, nitric oxide, D3.
Okay, So these are the things. These are all nutritional theory. That's you are hearing on Google and you are hearing everywhere and all those kind of things. That's where I want to divert your mind. Okay. So I want to take far from that particular thinking because this is everyone talking about. I use the word master nutrient. If you have that, you reduce the chance of getting any kind of lung disease by 80%. What is that? Okay, so is anyone there, or I give the answer? So let me give you the answer so you can understand one by one. Okay, so let's understand. How many of you heard beta carotene? Beta carotene? Yeah. Where you get in beta carotene, if you heard about it? I say, Tamanna, you are saying that you want to say like where the beta carotene, you can unmute yourself and say.
Carrots,
Yes.
red fruit, like maybe red capsicum.
Okay, perfect. So just stay with carrot. Okay, so that's how it is. If you eat carrot every day, it is guaranteed that you will never get a lung disease. That's how the new science has unfolded. Okay, because carrot, inside the carrot we have beta carotene, and beta carotene is the master nutrient for the lung. Okay, so if you have to protect the lung, you must have beta carotene on daily diet. Okay, that's how it works. So this is the new nutritional theory. So okay, so beta carotene is for that. What is like eye? What is a master nutrient for eye? I want to give few examples so then everyone can understand where I'm heading to.
The same thing, vitamin A or also beta carotene, if I'm not mistaken.
But like, okay, I'm using the word master nutrient. So like every organ, yes, that is very important. But then there is a master nutrient for eye.
Vitamin A.
Okay, that is there, but like there is one more, like means which we call master nutrient. Okay, so if not like I give, that's called lutein.
Lutein.
Yeah, lutein. You just remember it. So like, so that's how it goes. Lutein you get in the marigold flower. It's a yellow color pigment. Okay, so lutein. So see how beautiful it is that for lungs, we need beta carotene. For eye, we need lutein. Okay. What is the master, like we all have like senior people in our home, and male has most of the male, once they get 50 plus, they have a very common problem called prostate problem. What is the master nutrient for prostate? Anyone knows about it? No. Okay. You heard about lycopene? From where we get the lycopene? Is anyone knows where we get the lycopene? Yes, Tamanna, you are shaking the head. Where we get the lycopene, Tamanna? Can you say it? Unmute yourself and say.
Someone has written tomatoes. I don't know.
Written
tomatoes.
What?
Tomatoes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Tomatoes. Okay. So like this. Now I go to another word. Like this is all new for you. That's why I'm saying like this. The whole nutritional theory, like what you have, like the zinc, selenium, this, that. Like everyone talk about this. I'm not talking about all this kind of. I'm talking something different. And this is the real and how it works that you will understand. Tryptophan. Have you heard about tryptophan? If no, just keep telling me, like if anyone heard tryptophan.
So somebody is saying you get it from milk.
Okay, but what is that? Because you see, like at the beginning, I break down the whole concept of saying like, okay, no carbohydrate, no protein, no fat. Like I said, like a 200 nutrient, just remember the name. Forget about the category. Just remember the name of 200. So like that, we are playing with the name right now. We are not categorized them. Okay, so I'm using the tryptophan. What is tryptophan? Anyone heard about aspartic acid? Yes? Okay. Glutamine? Arginine? So see, this is very interesting. I'm taking few name and you see like whether you heard this name or not. Arginine, glutamine, lysine, aspartic acid, glutamic acid, proline, cysteine, methionine, histidine, tyrosine. Have you heard these names? So instead of a zinc and all, these are the important stuff. You should be having this stuff every day in your food. So though we are living in 2020, we are so advanced in the world, but unfortunately what happened, like what is the modern science? According to the modern science, the information we need, we don't have. Just right now, I took the name of all the amino acids which make protein. Okay, so that's how the human species is misguided. They said, okay, we have to take a protein, but they don't understand the protein is made up of amino acid, and the type of amino acid is required by different body. Okay, so not every body required the same type of amino acid. So though you are taking protein, means a person is like, okay, so I can say, Siddhartha, your protein may be different from Tamanna's protein, and Tamanna's protein may be different from Veena's protein. Is like, why? Because the amino acid, the number of amino acid and the quantity of amino acid will decide what type of protein you are having. And your protein requirement will go as per your body requirement. So someone say like, I'm having a protein. This is as per the new science, is like a wrong sentence. Okay, so in today's world, instead of saying, you have to say like, I'm having a good protein, so I make sure I get my tryptophan there. Okay, I'm having a good protein, I must get my aspartic acid from there. So these are the things like, okay, so we continue the seminar, we have a lot of these kind of work, so like to know. So idea what I'm trying to throw today here is, you need to know the master ingredient name, because every organ has one master ingredient to protect or make it work. Okay, so like for example, tryptophan. Let's talk about why tryptophan is like, anyone heard about why tryptophan? Or let's talk about like GABA. Have you heard about GABA? GABA. Okay, so GABA is a kind of a, like, again, is a kind of like a amino acid. Okay, it is a kind of a neurotransmitter. It helps your brain to relax. It helps your brain to like come out of the stress. It helps your brain to like react in a better way. Okay, so imagine that like most of you fall in a different kind of a stress or fear or many things. Okay, so there is a Wendy asking the question, what is the master nutrient for the hair? Hair is not a master nutrient. Hair is the indication. Here it is an indication, like I'm coming to that. So like, let's put in this way first. What I explained to you, you have to understand like the main organ of the body. If you have a problem in your liver, if you have a problem in your spleen or kidney or anything, it may affect your hair fall, because hair is not an organ. It's a kind of like only the hair follicles are the live cells and rest is the dead cell. Okay, so you see like whenever the people have a chemotherapy in the cancer, the first thing what happened, the hair fall. Why hair fall? Because the role of the chemotherapy is to kill the cell which divide very fast. Okay, so we have two cells in our body which divide very fast. One is the hair and other is our nails. Okay, they divide very fast. So you slow down the thing. So when the imbalance goes in the body, it can be your brain, it can be liver, it can be digestive system, it can be immune system, it can be anything. The indication is because hair is so delicate item, a part of the body, it falls very quickly. Okay, so master nutrient of the hair is nothing. The master nutrient of the hair is all your nutrient which is need your body. So this is the concept. You don't need a nutrient for the hair. You need to understand that you need to satisfy. Okay, it's just like that. It's a kind of a management. If you have a 4 family member, you can't give the food to 3 family member and the 4th one is not eating anything. I'm trying to really explain in a primary school language. So in our body, counted how many members we have inside our body. We have our brain, we have our heart, we have our lung, we have like our spleen, pancreas, liver, kidney, so many organs. So how you can satisfy only your brain or only your lung or your heart and not satisfying your liver or other? This is the whole concept. Like you need to make sure that you are giving the nutrient to all the organ of your body. And that is why I brought the concept of the master nutrient. So now imagine that if you know the master nutrient of all the important organs, let's say, okay, this should be the very easy one. Everyone should answer this. Okay, what is the master nutrient for bone? Calcium, right? Yeah. So there are simple things which everyone knows about it, but there are other things people don't know about it. So like everyone knows, like, okay, master nutrient from bone is calcium. But then there is a chess game going on in our body. How? Calcium is bad because calcium brings the hardness. As we age, we have to make sure we are not heart patient. If we are the heart patient or we have a high blood pressure, then the calcium is very dangerous for us. Why? Because calcium will not allow our blood vessel to become flexible. It become hard. So the chances of strokes and everything will go high. So any person, that's all is like, it's very complicated. That is why our body is not that simple. Okay. So suppose you have a bone problem and you have a heart problem both. Now this is like the challenge in front of you. A person has a bone problem and person has a heart problem both. And you know, like calcium is good for bone, but bad for heart. So if we are avoiding calcium, then we have to sacrifice with bone. That's where now we come, it's called complementary theory or holistic theory of the nutrition. Holistic theory of the nutrition means we need to find out how the other things, supportive nutrient, come and sit. So that's where you say, I said the master nutrient in eye for eye is lutein. But then the complement nutrient is vitamin A. So every organ has a set of 3, 4, 5 nutrients which can help that. Right? So if you cannot take the master nutrient, you make sure that you take the complementary nutrient. Right? So in this way, you can balance out. Now, this information is very new for you. So today, my main message, which I want to put across, that I talk about protein. So protein is not important. What is important in the protein is amino acid. So you ask a question to yourself that what kind of amino acids are you eating? So from today onward, suppose you stop asking this question, how much protein you are eating? And then rephrase this question in a new way. I want to know my amino acids. What is the advantage of the second question? If you make sure you get all the good amino acid, you are already having a good protein. But if you are having a good protein or enough protein, you don't know whether this protein is suitable for your body or not. You see, this is the flip. You understand my point, what I'm saying? That if you say, I'm having enough protein, and you have no idea about the amino acid inside your protein. So you are pleasing yourself by saying, I have enough protein to myself. But that protein may be not working for you because the amino acid which your body is required is missing in that protein. So change the question. You are not bothered about amino acid. You not bother about protein, you are bothered about amino acid. So you make sure that you have enough amino acid, what you need. So when you make sure you have enough amino acid, what your body required, protein will automatically complement it like that, right? So now think about it. Like if you go to the grocery shop, is anyone, like as I mentioned, Veena also mentioned in between, like if you have a question, please keep typing the question, because I say I can answer in between. So I didn't see any questions so far coming up. So I want you,
Doctor?
yeah, yes, please.
So how can I know what are the amino acids that my body requires? How can I find out? Do I need to do a blood test? Do I need to do, what should I be doing?
Okay. So obviously, like in 1 or 2 years time period, you will see we already have a comprehensive blood test, but it's very, very expensive, and like it's not like in a normal system right now. But in 2-3 years time period, you will see, yes, blood test will be the one thing where you will know what kind of protein, amino acid you are required. But then we may have some seminar some other time, which is called like this rapid assessment. Okay, so there's a rapid assessment of everybody where you can find out that what kind of amino acids are missing based on your daily body symptoms. That you may feel tired, like by having like a basic symptom like your tiredness, your fatigue, your mental anxiety, your sleep disorder, your pain, your inflammation. We can find out what kind of things are missing into it like that. Okay, so that's a rapid assessment. So we can keep some seminars some other time, but yes, by asking a simple questions to yourself, we can identify through the question as what kind of like amino acid is missing. So today's first message is master nutrient, and among the master nutrient, most important is learn about amino acid. It's very important to know about your amino acids, right? Okay, and especially tryptophan. So when you go off from this seminar, Google it, tryptophan, the role of tryptophan. Okay, like that. I talked to you about beta carotene. Okay, if every person has a beta carotene, you reduce 80% risk of getting lung cancer, guaranteed. Okay, like that. But then beta carotene also convert into vitamin A. And if you have a lutein, why lutein is very important these days? Lutein is very important because most of us, we are spending a lot of time in front of cell phone, iPads, computers. So our screen presence is very much. Okay, so there is a disease called myopia and glaucoma. So how many of you heard about myopia and glaucoma? Yeah. So we don't want myopia and glaucoma in our 60s, right? It's irreversible disease. So the only way to avoid myopia and glaucoma is to have enough lutein in the body. If you have enough lutein, you can see that like, okay, because that's a master nutrient for eyes and it will protect the eyes, right? So it do like that. So now, you see, I'm not talking about zinc, calcium, magnesium, all those. These are taken. We know all is required. It's all there. Today, I'm talking about what people not heard and missing out. And because it is missing out, that is why everyone is falling sick. Everyone is tired. Everyone has a lot of problem because we are missing the certain amount of very important nutrient which should be come to our body. There's a question about the lutein. Lutein is the yellow color pigment, and any kind of like a very strong yellow food. So again, some other time, we will talk about the power of rainbow diet, the colorful diet. Okay, because like more color you have on your plate, more nutrient you cover. A very simple theory. Okay, so that's there, because someone asked the question here. So lutein is mostly from the yellow color fruit and vegetables, yellow color.
Could turmeric be one of it?
Turmeric do not have a lutein. No, turmeric do not have lutein. Lutein is a kind of like a very bright yellow pigment, but it's mostly available in a form of supplement. Because see, that's what there's another point people need to understand. Supplement is not a theory where you are missing something, so you have to supplement it. Okay. Supplement is a kind of a new invention that many things we cannot get from our daily diet. And we cannot get it as a form of a food. So we have to take a supplement. Okay. So we call it jungle theory. Have you heard about jungle theory? Anyone? Okay. What is jungle theory? Jungle theory is that, have you ever heard about the tiger got a cancer, or like chimpanzee got a cancer, or elephant got a cancer? Because there are so many animal awareness kind of thing. If these kind of things, there must be enough information, right? Many animals, they never get a cancer. Why? Because they eat a lot of stuff from jungle, which is not a part of our diet. So our diet is basically a convenient diet, which we can farm. So this is the thing we have to understand. It's a dilemma in the human life. Is over the time period, we learn about certain fruits and vegetables, which we can grow, we can farm, and easy to cook and eat, and that become our diet. We never gone into a kind of a concept like, no, what is mandatory for us? There's so many mandatory nutrient which is not available as a form of food to us. It may be a wild bark of some tree, or some leaf of something like that, right? So just one of the example you can understand, neem, right? Many Indians in this room, like they understand like neem, right? How many people eat neem as a food? People don't understand, right? But I want to tell you, in the Bengali culture, there's a dish which include neem and eggplant. So there are like a culture. So when you learn about the culture, you can learn a lot about like, yes, people are using it, right? So this is one of the example that most of the people will never use neem as a food, because they think, oh, how to take it? But neem is so good. Now, second thing is clarifying the doubt. Turmeric. These days, everyone is talking about turmeric. And you know, the funny thing is, there's so many people went to hospital with overdose of turmeric. Okay. Because you always have to understand, we have to work in a narrow window. All the good things become bad when they are more. Why? Because if you take a good thing more, then you are doing injustice to your liver, your pancreas. They have to work so hard to eliminate the excess part. So sometimes they get tired and they can't work, and you get a side effect. Right now, all around the world, millions of people are getting side effect of the turmeric. This is like, sounds very strange, but this is the reality, because they are having too much turmeric, which is not good. Okay. So it's destroying the thing. So therefore, that's the concept of the supplementation. So turmeric supplement has a highly concentrated the compound called curcumin. You heard about curcumin? Yeah. Anyone who heard, like who else heard about curcumin? Yeah. Now there are so many different kind of curcumin, and curcumin become very like a marketing and fancy word. But technically, what we say, And whenever you go into the market, you ask like, do you have the curcumin which has 3 peaks? Okay, we call the 3 peak curcumin, actually it's called C3 or 3C. So if you go in the market and you ask the shopkeeper, do you have C3 or 3C turmeric? And if he can explain you something, then you understand you are having a therapeutic turmeric. Otherwise, rest is the food turmeric. Okay, so the whole turmeric, what we are talking about as an immune boosting, is the element inside, which is a curcumin, which should have a 3 peak, and technical name is C3. So everyone is writing curcumin is 5%, 3%, 8%. No. If it is a 1 peak curcumin, which has 9%, doesn't matter. A 2% curcumin with the 3 peak will have a much more effectiveness than the 9% curcumin with 1 peak. So there's a lot to learn about this kind of stuff. Technically, it is very interesting stuff, this kind of things. So like that, we have restricted time. So I just try to paint a picture over here. Okay, so nutrient means the main message, 200 nutrients every day you need, right? Now, why I said here is the hair fall is the indication of some of your organ is under load. So when the organ is under load, 3 things are happening in the body. Okay. First thing, you get a hormonal disbalance. So this is very interesting. Okay. And you have to remember this. When your organ is under stress or under load, 3 immediate things happen to everyone's body. Number 1, hormonal disbalance. The whole hormonal things go upside down, which regulate the whole body. Second thing, metabolic disorder. The whole metabolism go wrong. So whatever you are eating, it's not properly absorbing, and it's not going into your blood, and cell is not absorbing. All this, everything is just going wrong. So like a lot of people have this kind of problem, like I have a bloating, I have gas, I have so many kind of things, this is metabolic. And third is the body compromised with the immunity. Okay, your immune system immediately goes down. If your organ is under stress, your immune system is going down. So you see, like everyone what is saying, if you are stressed, they are only talking about the mental stress. It affects your immune system. Now I'm adding one more layer to it. I said not only the brain, even if your liver under stress, your heart is under stress, your lung is under stress, your pancreas is under stress, your kidney is under stress, your immune system will go down. Okay. So the moment you have these 3 things, what are the first thing happen? Your hair fall down. This is very interesting, right? So very clear cut 3-step formula. If your hair fall down, it means one of your organ is under stress or multiple organs are under stress. And because of that stress, you have 3 things. Either you have low immunity, or you have like a metabolic disorder, or you have hormonal imbalance. It is as simple as this. Okay. So like this, by knowing all this simple formula, you can manage your body. Now we come to a last interesting point. So what to eat and what to shop. So I just created this shopping list when I go to shop. Okay. So suppose you go to shop, what is your shopping list? Say, Siddhartha, can you talk to me like when you go, like what usually your shopping list? Unmute yourself and say.
Usually cereals, or like the rice, wheat. I mean, on a monthly basis, if you.
Yeah.
And then
take the name.
Sure. And then lentils mainly, like and of course the other salt and other like spices basically.
Okay. All right.
That
okay. Okay, got it. So, Tamanna, if you go like, what kind of things you will pick up?
Lots of vegetables, fruits, a lot of fruits.
Yeah.
This is like, actually, I don't do a monthly shopping, so it's like every other day actually. So a lot of fruits come home, a lot of different vegetables.
Sure.
We have a lot of salads at home, all colorful salads. I'm a desi, so I like to eat the desi Indian food, but everybody
Okay.
else eats all that stuff. And a lot
Okay.
of nuts as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, Karishma, you want to say something? What kind of food you would like to buy? Say, just take a name, unmute your mic and say something, like means just the name, like the way everyone is saying.
Yeah, similar. Lots of vegetables, fruits. Mostly we
Okay.
are vegetarian, so.
All right, so fruits, vegetables and all that. Sangeeta? Sangeeta is attending, by the way, my seminar, so I pass Sangeeta. Sangeeta may know the answer.
No, it's
Yeah.
also like we begin every day morning with some fresh avla juice. Of course, if I don't find fresh, I will take the dried avlas.
Okay. All right.
Vitamin C, that's mine, and then one or two fruits.
Okay.
Then one grain, sometimes nachni, sometimes jawar atta, sometimes bajri. Depends on the weather. I will change as per my weather, the food.
Okay. All right. So
And
see,
some,
yeah. Okay.
okay,
So
that's fine.
I got my answer. So like, if you see like what is actually happening. So right now, how our mind works, like we say, like we have to eat like greens, we have to eat fruits, we have to eat like cereals, we have to eat fibers, all those kind of things. Now, start thinking like me, and then your whole life will change. My shopping list is, I have to buy today beta carotene, I have to buy lycopene, I have to buy isoflavin, I have to buy tryptophan, I have to buy lutein, I have to buy all those kind of things. Now there's no name of the fruits and vegetables. How my list is that all the important nutrients what we need in our body. Okay, reverse engineering. Then you started Googling like all this name, right? What is important, required. We will continue with the seminar some other time also. Once you learn about this nutrient, then you can find which fruits and vegetables you have this nutrient in. So suddenly what happened, like your purchasing and your choice has increased. You can really have so much wide variety of fruits and vegetables which exactly fit to your nutritional requirement. Okay, so this is the thing. Maybe you are eating green. Okay, so like say for example broccoli. Now broccoli has isoflavin, and if your body is enough of isoflavin, this broccoli is not helping you anymore, though you are thinking I'm eating green. This is the thing everyone has to understand. If you have enough cabbage, you think like, okay, I'm eating cabbage. Cabbage is good for health, right? So that's how all misleading information, which I really want to correct it, is the world is changing, the science is changing, everything is coming new. So, okay, cabbage has its own benefit, but then it has to see whether your body is having too much cabbage related nutrient, or you need some nutrient which is missing, which is not from the cabbage, but coming from the other vegetables like that. So the selection of the nutrient, following the nutrient is very important. So you can spread across the fruits and vegetables. This is the first part. Okay, very interesting. Now, what is the second very important part is that we have a regular repeat diet. So suppose we are taking orange. We keep taking orange every day, or we keep going for a certain time period. So like one small experiment you can do to your life, and you can see, if you go and see what you have done in last 60 days, I can challenge you, and you will find you have never gone beyond 15 to 20 vegetables, or all the fruits and vegetables. It's within that small range. Okay, so what we call the human comfort zone. So we get adaptive or addicted to our comfort zone, and we develop a habit. So we know like we are eating avocado, we like it avocado, we feel like it's good for health. Every day we are going and buying avocado. And over time, years and years, we keep buying avocado without knowing, registering that it's enough of avocado, we should shift and try to put life. Because body is keep required new things all the time. And we have enough choice, right? So when we don't do this, that is why many people say, hey, I'm eating good, but my hair is still falling. I gave you the answer, right? Hope you understand. So I think like that's enough for today. If you have any questions, please go ahead.
Yes, so does anybody have any questions? We have 10 more minutes before we close the session.
My question is that the nutrients, as I told you, is like now, as you said, there will be a test later on for the amino acids. But how about the nutrients? That how can I know what is required of my body? And what should I do for that?
Okay, so today's topic was just to give you the new concept to the people to understand, right? That carbohydrate, protein, good fat, bad fat, minerals, vitamin is not enough, is more than that is required. So takeaway message is today is yes, is there, right? To answer your question, it's a very comprehensive subject. So we will organize certain seminars some other day to have like in a more detail to say like, which is like how to identify. So your question is how to find out like what kind of nutrient I require for my body. Okay. And this is like a different kind of body type. And in fact, let me see that. Yes. I have this kind of a test which called the clinical test. It's called at soil test. Okay, so at soil test is a kind of like, if you go here, it's like a test of antioxidant, digestion, detoxification, sex hormones, oxygen, inflammation, and lifestyle. Okay, so these are a kind of how to say, like, is a kind of a questionnaire. Okay, so we can ask you the questions. So without doing any kind of blood test or without doing any kind of like a medical procedure, simple through communication and with lifestyle, we can identify like what is the requirement. But message what I have like put today, that go deeper. Go deeper means you need more than 200 nutrients altogether. And many of them, like I didn't talk about like saponin or all those kind of, there's so many of them, which actually, these are the things are missing from the nutritional theory. So I try to explain this. If you read the biochemistry, okay, so you have to put like as a new age person, that the rest of the life, the forward thinking of the life is based on biochemistry, not on the balanced diet. Balanced diet is like a 19th century or 20th century science. 21st century is like a 5G. If you're talking about the 5G, it's a biochemistry. So biochemistry is like, okay, if you know only two things, the food to avoid, okay, that's it. So what you need to learn, food to avoid and food to take. So this is the new paradigm of the mind, that what are the food I should avoid and what are the food it is mandatory for us. And I think this two simple thing will help you a lot to balance up your life. Yeah, thanks.
So,
Thank you.
anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. G, are we
Yes.
going to have a session where you're going to ask us questions and we are going to write down in our book or something to know what is the deficiency and things like this, the book you just showed now on health?
See, yes, because as you know, Sangeeta, we are like always like upfront in the community to helping the community to understand and learn more. So yes, we are very much open, and we are going to organize very soon. I will discuss with Veena when we are going to do this. But I will definitely give some kind of like how you say, like a basic assessment kind of thing, like how do you know what to
Sure.
do at home, because most of the people, yes, I agree with this, it's a very valid question that you need to know. So assessment is the first part. Okay, you need to, we all look beautiful outside. Okay, we are all beautiful by heart, but are we beautiful or accurate by ourselves? So I'm talking about more on the cellular part of our body, right? So if we learn more about the cell of our body, okay, then we are justifying everything.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Ji. Thank you, Veena.
Pleasure. Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else?
What gives us complete nutrition? 200 nutritions.
Oh, I always say, like, one of my PhD subject is like I work on this particular group of algae called blue-green algae, also known as cyanobacteria. There are more than 2,000 different species, and one of the particular group of the species is called spirulina, and in Chinese we call it losinchao. Losinchao is like a spirulina is a half algae and half bacteria. It's a very interesting cell, half bacteria, half algae, and scientifically it is proven now that it was the first cell who created oxygen in our Earth atmosphere. Okay, because previously, if we go through the origin of life theory, scientific theory, we didn't have oxygen on planet Earth. So there's a whole story, like when you go from 3.5 billion years till now. So initially, we had only bacteria and viruses on this planet, and when the first bacteria evolved and become half algae, half plant, which is blue-green, and then they started releasing oxygen. So this is the thing where all the nutrient of the mother nature is put in. And then the evolution took place from there. It's a 3.5 billion. So this cyanobacteria or blue-green algae, or you can say spirulina, it is evolved in thousands and hundreds and thousands of species what we have today. So whether you talk about spinach, whether you talk about carrot, or you name it, anything, when you go back to 3.5 billion years back, it all end up into spirulina. So that is the logic, that why spirulina is called the mother cell. It has all the nutrient inside it. So this is the one thing which you get all the nutrient. And people say like that in our scientific, in science, we say something like this: if something happened to this planet, and if the water is there, and the air is there, and spirulina is there, we can survive. And that's what one of the part of the Mars mission. In the Mars, people are trying to create oxygen through a lot of algal growth and all those kind of things. So very interesting topic to let you know. So that first thing. Second, since you talk about like a complete food, 200 nutrient, mother's milk. So the mother's milk and spirulina are the two full food on this planet. With that, without eating anything else, you can survive. Okay, so that is why you see like many people have like a milk, and spirulina is a great solution these days.
So somebody is just mentioning over here that she's been taking spirulina for 30 years and her hair is down to her calves. So
okay, there's certain things what happen, like a very interesting question. So is she satisfied or she is not satisfied with the spirulina?
Mai Ching, you want to share?
Thank you. That was very enlightening. Yes, definitely I agree. That's why I asked you earlier, have you done research on spirulina, full spectrum of amino acids? And then here you are, you're saying that your research is on that. So that's fabulous. I want to learn more on your research, because I've been taking it for 30, 40 years maybe. And if you want to see, my hair is here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, and I think it was that, and also the combination of vitamin C I found has been amazing in the effects of the spirulina. So definitely I want to stay in touch to research more on this, uh, as is, you know, as the case with this. But I have a little spot here that doesn't seem to grow. So I was thinking I could learn how to just activate that spot.
Yeah, that's the right word. Like you use the right word. It's called activate, right? So there are so many points in the body, and as I exactly mentioned, the body are made up of cells. So the cells of that particular part is not activated, so rest of the part is working well. So if the cells can activate of that part, that is why today's main focus is I'm trying to put a focus on the cell of the body rather than the whole body, right? So you have to go like a deeper and then look into your cell. So when you look into the cell, you can read your body much better. So like I will put in this way, that how to read yourself much better. That's the way. So once you know like how to read yourself biologically, okay, so that's the key word, like how to read yourself biologically much better. Okay, so we all know our behavior pattern, we know all different kind of things, but we don't know our biology. The day you learn your biology, then you can manage your health very well. Is like that. Okay, so we have a seminar. This question is very much related to what Tamanna has asked, like how do we know like what kind of nutrient we should say. So it's a kind of like a rapid assessment to understand like, okay, this is your body type. Okay, see this, so many things happen in the world. You go in the Western world, they said there's a keto diet, there's a blood group type diet and all those kind of things. Okay, so it's already there in the world. They know like there are different types of bodies, right? So here I'm like saying, yes, this is true. We are not same. We have a different chemistry in our body. So we need to know what is our chemistry. So without doing medical test, without going through certain kind of like a medical system, how we come to know? So that we will keep some certain seminar on that particular topic. Right? Yeah.
Okay, so it's already 10:30. I'm going to close the session. Very interesting indeed. I'm sure you have lots more questions. It's definitely lots of new learnings, I'm sure, for many of us over here. So we will continue to have such sessions on a regular basis. In fact, tomorrow we are having another topic with Dr. Sanjay, same time, 9 p.m. on, was it the gut, how the gut and the hair are connected? Something.
Yeah. We are talking about the metabolism tomorrow. So like how our, yeah, the gut health, the intestinal health work all together. Yeah, affects. Yeah.
So yes, so definitely do tune in again. I will be sending you all invitations. Please share with your friends and family, locally, globally. Join in. If you have any hair concerns, definitely come and see us. We are specialists in that area. We have solutions which are integral in nature, which is inside and out. So, and also if we talk about spirulina, we make sure at Naveda we have the highest quality which meets international food safety standards and which is certified non-toxic. So Dr. Sanjay, you just want to touch a little bit of making sure that everything people are having should be non-toxic?
It's actually like, yeah, one of the thing today that was not a part of the talk, but one of the talk is called food safety. Okay, like how do we know what we are consuming is safe? So it's not only non-toxic, but like free for chemical fertilizers, or in other words, it's say like any kind of bad stuff which can cause cancer and some other diseases, right? So yes, I can take 2 minutes over here, and like I can answer this by asking you a very interesting question. How many of you buy the product by reading the label of the product in the supermarket? Like, do you read the label before buying the product in the supermarket? Or you just like pick up the things? Okay. So yes or no kind of thing. How many of you are aware of ISO 22000? How many of you buy the product only which is printed ISO 22000? Or you don't care about it? Okay, so there is someone, yes. So if you don't care about it, from next time, please don't buy anything which do not have ISO 22000 certification on it. What does that mean? It doesn't matter how beautiful packaging it is. This particular product has not gone properly for the food safety assessment. Okay, so you cannot guarantee how beautiful this product looks like. There's no guarantee that whether the product is safe chemically or otherwise. So make a habit that anything you buy in food for food must have ISO 22000 certificate. It is written on the label. Okay, so label has a like that kind of thing, or HACCP, HACCP, it's called HACCP. So HACCP is now replaced by ISO 22000. But what is, it will give you the guarantee that whatever you are eating, it's really, really safe. Okay, it's an absolute guarantee of safe because it's a kind of like safety procedure. Now, what is like Veena's place in Naveda? Unfortunately, like, okay, why we are doing this Zoom? Because due to Corona, we cannot travel, we cannot meet. But we do, like, for many years, we are doing like a very interesting live seminar in Naveda. And when these things open up, you are all please welcome. Come to Naveda. I can meet you there personally. We can like interact. I can really answer a lot of your questions. And what you can learn inside a Naveda, like we try to put like a first, we call it wellness clinic. The idea here is telling you some information which is non-medical, but help you to maintain your good health and happiness. Okay, so it's a health, happiness, live well, eat well kind of things. And then the people, those who are Indian over here, like we say, we have a traditional Chinese medicine, we have the Indian Ayurveda. One of the things which is good in China and India, both the country, that there's a lot of research being done on Ayurveda in India and TCM in Hong Kong and China. So in fact, in India, we have this ministry called Ayush. You must have heard about it. Like there's a ministry called Ayush. Ayush actually look after all the medicinal plant of India. Okay. So in Hong Kong, we do not have a law. So because of the lack of law, either the product sold as a drug or as a supplement. There's no in-between category. But in India, we have this Ayush department. Ayush department is basically monitor the list of the medicinal plant. And the medicinal plant research is very well done. And initially, as I asked you, what is the adaptogens? You heard about ashwagandha. You heard about ashwagandha, right? So ashwagandha is just similar to the ginseng of China. And it's an adaptogen. So the idea is like, if you take a ashwagandha, either capsule or you get a ashwagandha powder, you mix with the milk and you take every day, you can avoid your sleeping problem, you can avoid your stress problem, you can see a wonderful benefit. So in Naveda, what we have done, like we have like a top quality, scientifically researched the whole fleet of this Indian medicinal remedies, you put in this way. And it's very interesting to learn about it. So once it is open, you're most welcome. So I can give you that a kind of like a snapshot how it works, you know, from the scientific point of view. So Naveda, what we have put in this way, that there's no marketing involved, like means me being a scientist, like, you know, like people talk very fancy word and you get impressed, and then you develop a thought like, oh, this product is good, that product is good. Like we are not like that. We want to inform you where the science is, what science has discovered, and what science is saying. So when you know this is science is saying, you can make your decision. Okay, so like for example, as Veena asked, I said like, okay, toxins, other stuff means food safety. So food safety is ISO 22000. Yes, Veena? Yeah.
So yes, as Dr. Sanjay said, more will be shared in our upcoming seminars and webinars. We look forward to seeing you all at Naveda Integral Wellness Center. We are located in Chimsat Choi, right opposite the YMCA in the Peninsula Hotel. Do give me a call if you would like to visit us, or if you have any questions. Please feel free, and I hope you've enjoyed the session, and we will keep updating you about our upcoming seminars. Please like our Facebook page, Naveda Wellness. You can even like my personal page, Veena Dansingani, for updates. Please like our Instagram page, because we're going to be sharing lots of information, and we're going to be having lots of interaction upcoming in the future as well. All right, so thank you so much for today's session being there. It's 10:30 p.m. Please sleep well and take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.